Hi! So I'm hoping to keep this video short because the video today is not really about running, but it is about lifestyle in general, and I think it's one that's relevant to running. So in some threads, I see a lot of people talking about runners who smoke. So I want to chip in a little about my take on smoking and runners. So it is my belief that to get better at running or in life in general, it is best to keep yourself healthy. So to give you a little bit of history into my smoking life, that sounds bad, but yeah, it's a reality. I've been a huge smoker back in the day. I think I haven't smoked for more than 5 years already, or more than 6 years, most probably. I tried a lot of things to help me stop smoking. So I tried doing exercise, and I did a little jogging, a little running, and walking. I tried to be active before to keep myself from smoking. It may have worked for a while, but then I relapsed, and then I tried to quit cold turkey, and I think I stopped for 7 years. I never smoked a single cigarette for 7 years, but then it only took a little incident. I'm just gonna put it at that. It only took a little incident, and that made me get back into the habit of smoking. And ever since that time, I've become a bigger smoker. To give you a little idea, probably at least once in a day I've been smoking at least 10 cigarettes, 10 sticks, and that would max out at 1 pack. So it was that worse, and that happened for many years. I think I'm still in college during that time when I relapsed into smoking, and then I found myself again trying to quit smoking. So it reached to the point that even when I go to the store or even when I walk to the store to buy a cigarette, I would catch my breath. So I knew by then that smoking has taken its toll on my lungs, on my aerobic capacity, and right then I knew that I had to do something about it. And so one time I was searching on the internet, on YouTube University. I looked into vaping. During that time, I think that was around 2015 or 16, there were a lot of people who were into vaping already, and I was quite curious what the fuzz is all about in vaping. And then when I went to YouTube University, I found out that they said there are a lot of benefits into vaping. So compared to smoking cigarettes, they say vaping is healthier than cigarettes. So I dug a little bit more, and then I arrived at the conclusion that vaping could be much more healthier than smoking. So you could say that it's the lesser evil. So yeah, I think around 2015 I bought my first vape kit, and yeah, ever since that time I did falter a bit, when I forget to bring my vape, especially when I go out on Fridays and on the weekends, and I'm with my friends and a lot of them smoke. So when I forget to bring my vape, that's the time I buy my 10s. But most of the time I always try to bring my vape with me, and it really helped me a lot to quit smoking. So the thought of picking up a cigarette and just light one up, it didn't appeal to me anymore compared to when I didn't vape. And so that was a good start, you know. Then it came to the point that I haven't touched a cigarette anymore. I think that was like 2 years in, after I started vaping, and I slowly observed that my lungs, you know, my aerobic capacity has slowly been improving. You know, when I walk up a flight of stairs, I don't labor in my breathing anymore. So even when I walk for a significant amount of time, something like 30 minutes of walking, you know, I don't catch my breath anymore. So I could say that it really was a huge improvement compared to when I was still smoking cigarettes. So to connect it into running, I think vaping has been a window into my running, you know, because I wasn't laboring in my breathing anymore. It somehow made me open up to the possibility of getting into physical activities, physical activeness, and eventually I did. There's still a lot of factors why I came into running, but surely vaping was one of the major factors that made me able to, you know, consider running. So even when I was already running, probably a year into running, or a couple of months, or a year, I'm not really sure, but for a significant amount of time into my running, I was still vaping during that time. In fact, when I joined one of my longest trail race, it was a 30K in the name of the race was Muspo Trail Run something, held in Valencia, Bukidnon. Actually, after that time when we went to our tent, I was vaping, and that just speaks volumes into comparing vaping and smoking. You know, I couldn't imagine being able to run for even 5 kilometers when I'm still smoking. Fast forward into today, there were specific reasons why I stopped vaping, but I'm proud to say that I don't vape anymore. It's not that I decided not to vape. It's also not because I don't like vaping anymore. It just came naturally. But you know, today, I finally decided that I don't need my vaping kits anymore. Right now, I'm gonna be disposing my vape kits, and I do have that here. Oh. The aroma of the vape juices, it's just so I could still imagine the taste. So as you can see, these are all my kits. We got tanks. Oh, that's my latest mod. So this is the first vape mod that I bought. This is what started it all. And what I like about this is that this one lights up. It's pretty rad. And see, I have all these types of tanks. There came a point in my life that these stuff are one of the most valuable things in my life. I couldn't imagine not having these anymore. Now that I'm looking at it, it kind of stings a bit in my chest, knowing that I'd give these away or sell them away, but you know, I don't use this anymore, so there's no point in keeping these. I also have this. This is the Coil Master. Look at that! I'm like a craftsman here. And look at these juices. This is one of my favorite juices. It tastes sweet, but it has that tobacco flavor, and I like that. Oh man, it's named Pandemic Wires. Hindi nutty. So let's open up one of the mods. It's a little worn out, but this thing could chuck 200 watts. Pretty powerful. Actually, it says 220 watts. This is another mod from the same company. This is an older model. It's a big one. It's heavy, but pretty sturdy. Yeah, gotta say goodbye to these stuff. These are my life saviors. I owe my life to people who invented these vapes. You know, pretty nostalgic. I do not in any way condemn people who smoke. I do have uncles who still smoke. Shout out to my tito in Pampanga and Davao. I'm just here trying to share my experiences as a former smoker, and apparently now I'm gonna be a former vapor. Maybe my experiences might help some runners or any people in general who are trying to quit the habit of smoking. So yeah, just gonna chip in on my little wisdom, if you could call it wisdom. I'm gonna try to add some clips here on the time that I was already into outdoor activities. There was that time when we went hiking, and I still have my smoke with me. Oh no, I still have my vape with me. And fast forward to today, we're on our latest camping trips. You know, I wasn't looking for anything like any cigarette or any vape, so I'm quite happy with where I am right now. So one key factor into me quitting vaping, and to an extent also smoking, is my running. Vaping was the reason why I drastically lessened my smoking, but running cemented it. I always like to tell people those people that are asking me about how I quit smoking. So to an extent, I think running did play a big role into me quitting smoking. It's not only running, not only vaping, but both of them helped me quit the habit. And to the people who are asking in forums about how do they quit smoking, how would they quit smoking, or there are people who are asking who here are runners that still smoke, and I think they're struggling in their own ways on how to quit the habit. And yeah, I think that's my advice. Give vaping a try, and later on you'll realize that it's a huge improvement compared to smoking cigarettes in terms of your breathing, your aerobic capacity, and you find out that your running is would be improved compared when you're still smoking. And maybe later on you're gonna stop vaping altogether. So yeah, that's my takeaway on vaping and smoking and running. And I do hope you guys find your path and be able to quit smoking and vaping, I guess. So I still believe that vaping is a much more healthier choice than smoking cigarettes, but you know, it's much better to not having to rely on either of them. So yeah, so I guess that's it. I hope I was able to shed some light into anyone out there who's trying to quit smoking, and I hope your running's going well, and see you on the streets to people here on my city, and hope I see you guys on the trails someday. Yeah, see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.